Hello, one and all. Welcome to another episode of MMA Vision Analysis. This one, we're talking about Eddie Hearn's his recent comments in regards to Anthony Joshua. In terms of next opponents, that is, he talks about a rematch against Dubois and a possible Tyson Fury fight. We're going to talk about the comments of Eddie Hearns in this video, but before getting started, make sure to like, subscribe, click that notification so you can get all of this that is new from this channel, your channel, the one and only MMA Vision Analysis. In the world of boxing, there's a handful of fighters that are clearly at the top of the game, especially when we're talking about the heavyweight division. I believe the most popular division in boxing. You get popular fighters from lower weight classes here and there, but you rarely get a whole division that's actually known. I don't want to say it's like the whole division is known, but most certainly the top guys are known to all average combat sports fans. When we talk about, let's say, the top three, top four, I think it's very easy to explain. At this point, I think Alexander Usyk is perhaps the best heavyweight boxer on the planet. Second to that, you can throw in Tyson Fury. Third, perhaps, despite losing to Dubois, Anthony Joshua. And after that, perhaps Dubois. And you can throw a couple more names on there, whether it be Deontay Wilder, even though the latter has had a very unstable past few years, let's say, especially after the Tyson Fury fights. Nonetheless, he's still a top heavyweight. At least he's a very well-known name in the combat sports world. And you can add a couple more names on there. Obviously, there are other top guys, but it seems like the top guys are all continuously fighting each other. It's not difficult to predict what's going to happen next in the heavyweight division in boxing. Obviously, AJ losing last time around, a spectacular event. Generally speaking of the event here, and a spectacular, main event to that event. The fight that put together Dubois versus Anthony Joshua, in which we saw Anthony Joshua get handed a devastating loss. Dubois is a fantastic boxer, very powerful, and in all honesty, the entirety of the time, AJ looked intimidated. So that being said, that kind of reminds me of the first Andy Ruiz fight. Sometimes it seems like that Anthony Joshua does not want to be in there. I think it's a mentality thing. The guy definitely has all the physical attributes that could help him become top of that list. Unfortunately for him, that's not always the case. He's been handed some devastating losses in his career. And last time around against Dubois was a great example of that. Also, the fight before that, he faced Francis Ngannou, knocked out Francis Ngannou, and I believe that probably also got to his head. But I think for the rematch, which I think is going to happen next, the rematch against Dubois, I could be wrong. Eddie Hearns expresses interest in fighting Fury, and the rematch with Dubois. He expresses there's no such thing as warm-up fights anymore. We're going to get straight down to business, and I kind of agree with it. We're all for super fights, and thanks to Turki Al-Sheikh, Riyadh season, these fights, super fights, are possible when, let's say about 5-6 years ago, you don't even have to go back that far. These fights took a lot to make, and sometimes we had to wait years for super fights like this. But now we're getting back-to-back in the world of boxing, especially thanks to Turki Al-Sheikh and Riyadh season. I would like to extend my gratitude in this video to Turki Al-Sheikh for making these fantastic fights happen. So I really think that the wise thing to do is to go in there against, obviously, Dubois and handle that situation. And then after that, perhaps we can talk about the Fury fight. Even though strategically it probably be wise to face Fury next. But obviously, Fury has the rematch against Alexander Usyk. I'm not sure when that's set for. I'm pretty sure it is set. Thanks to Riyadh season, once again, these fights are happening like back to back. So very thankful for that. And also, perhaps the Dubois next is perhaps inevitable for Anthony Joshua. I believe that Anthony is able to make those adjustments. I believe that Anthony has a lot more to show than what he showed us the night when he faced Dubois. And just like Eddie Hearn said, I believe the guy is still in good position. I mean, that's what makes champions champions, I believe, is the ability to overcome the obstacles, right? So very excited to see what happens for Joshua next. I really believe it's the Dubois rematch. And I believe that if it is, then we will see a different Joshua than the first fight between the two. If you made it this far, I appreciate you for sticking around. Please let me know what you think in the comments and like, subscribe for more.